So let's move on to our next segment. What is the etiquette?
Yes, my favorite one.
Favorite thing ever.
It is, except for last week's when we talked about farts. So this week, I was having a discussion with somebody, and we were just talking about past experiences and relationships, and kind of just going over things that we've been through personally. And it's like, man, I wish the person I was actually talking to, when they broke up with their significant other, they said that they had so many people come up to them and be like, oh, like, I knew that was going to happen. Like, I knew you guys weren't going to make it. It was just a matter of time kind of thing. And it was like, she was like, what the fuck? Like, why didn't anybody fucking say that to me? Instead of watching me go through all this shit, I have to go through this fucking heartache. Like, why wouldn't you fucking tell me this is no good or this is toxic or this is not bad? But then it's also like, well, when you're in the midst of that love, you're not going to really listen. Most people look at you like you don't know what you're talking about. We're in love and just mind your business, shit like that. So my what's the etiquette question is how do you handle having a friend or family member in a toxic relationship, but they are in love? Do you get involved? Do you say anything? Do you leave it alone? Do you just let it run its course? Do you detach yourself from the situation because you don't know how to not say something and you don't want to witness it either? Like, does that cause a gap between you and their relationship? And what are your past experiences?
That's tough. Me, I don't keep my mouth shut about anything.
Okay.
And I definitely don't keep my mouth shut about relationships.
Okay.
I never have and I never will.
All right.
Personally, I've obviously gone through my fair share of slunts. And
ginger ones or just in general?
well, technically, yeah, actually.
A couple ginger slants in there?
Yeah.
Thought so.
No, the ginger was nice.
Oh.
But anyway, the whole thing with it, I think you need to tell the person. You might not want to be as aggressive as I would be when telling someone.
Right.
But I'll make it blatantly obvious if I don't like the significant other to them. Like, I don't really fake it to them either.
Yeah.
Like, it's pretty obvious when I don't like somebody.
Yeah.
And I think you're the same way.
Yes.
Yeah, it's blatantly obvious that when you don't like someone. Definitely tell them something. Maybe warn them in a way. Just like, are you sure about this? Maybe you should, maybe take a step back and just kind of give them the evidence of why you're kind of in, like, you might want to think about this. Like, well, I mean, dude, look at this. I mean, for the past 2 weeks, you've done nothing but fight, and you keep coming to me and telling me all this stuff. I know I don't see the good stuff, but you don't even highlight the good. You only tell me the bad, which leads me to believe that there's not much good. There's not much good,
if any.
And you're telling me all this stuff. Maybe it's best that you rethink this relationship, and is it best for you? Are you in love with the person, or you're just too stubborn to have a change in your life? And that varies from person to person and situation to situation, because a normal relationship between two people who don't live together and don't have kids, that's like so easy to cut that cord.
Cut and dry.
And how easy it is to do that. A lot of people don't know how lucky they are to be able to cut that cord that easily.
Right.
Because when you're in a situation of not even marriage, but just living together, whether you're renting a place together and both your names are on it, or if you buy a fucking home together, oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
Add marriage into the mix and then add kids, it gets so beyond difficult at that point, especially you don't know what that other person is capable of doing.
Oh, yeah.
If you leave them, are they going to try and set out to ruin your entire life? Not socially, but financially, or socially too.
Yeah.
Mentally, you gotta love Mark Zuckerberg. Gave everyone a fucking voice to talk shit about other people.
Yeah.
With Facebook and Instagram.
Correct.
One post can change a ton of people's outlook on you, and the post can be complete bullshit.
Yeah.
He's a piece of shit. He cheated on me, or she's a fucking whore. She did this, so on. When none of it fucking happened.
Right.
And whether none of it happened or not, most likely 50% of those people are going to say something and believe it. Yeah. Or what's even better is if a female posts it, you got all those fucking guys who want to play Mr. White Knight, who want to secretly just want to fuck the girl. Like, oh yeah, you're right. You're so much better than that fucking asshole. And so on and so forth, and blah blah blah. I can't stand that shit.
Simps. Yeah. They're fucking. I totally agree with what you say. I think that's an excellent viewpoint to handle that situation.
How do you tell someone?
I unfortunately handle it terribly. I don't do the right thing. I feel like I should do what you do. I don't say anything.
Oh, really?
When I was a long time ago, much younger, I did, and it backfired on me, immensely. And the person that I told ended up hating me, and they acted like I created the situation. Like, I'm the one that caused the problems, even though I just exposed what was being done to them, and I knew what was going on. I got the person who was doing it to fucking admit it, because I provided the proof and said, you know, this is it. Like, deny it or don't. Did you do it or not? And eventually they said, yes, I did do it. And then
do I know who these?
Yes,
I do. Okay.
And then it got turned on me, and actually it was so crazy because it wasn't immediate. I think the next day, the person that I told, they were obviously hurting, but they came up to me and were talking. You know what? They're like, you know what? I think your girlfriend's cheating on you too. I was like, what? I'm like, yeah, I think she's probably doing the same thing. I was like, okay, can you give me any proof? Like, do you know anything? Does anybody say anything to you, or just like what you think? No, but I'm like, come on, dude, don't fucking do that. I'm like, don't do that. Like, don't try and spin it around or make me feel the same way, or like, I don't know if you're trying to make yourself feel better or whatever it is. I was like, if you have something to actually show me and tell me, I'll fucking listen to it.
Of course.
Like, don't sit here and try and fire it back at me for whatever reason. And then from there, as it got worse, their relationship got worse and was coming to an end because of all that. The anger got directed towards me, and I actually believe I was told, like, you know, this is partially your fault. Like, you know, this is going on because of you. I'm like, how? Like, what do you mean? Like, all I did was expose it. Like,
wow.
I saw what was going on, and then we actually didn't talk for years. Because then it ignited into a fucking battle between the two of us. Because
I really know who these are.
yeah, it's my fucking brother.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know this story.
Oh, yeah, this was long. I was 16, 17.
I do know the story. Never mind.
And
okay.
And yeah, me and him ended up. That was like that was one of the first like big battles between him and I. And then he ended up staying with her after I exposed the shit. Because she was living at the house with us.
Yeah.
And he would go to work, and I would be home, and I'd see her leave and get picked up by other dudes.
Oh, that's so terrible.
Yeah. She right at the house, and then I think when she caught wind that I noticed, she would leave the house and walk to the gas station down the street. And one day I followed her.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, what is she doing?
We didn't have camera phones back then.
No. I watched her go down the street. I walked down, cut through the woods, saw her go to the gas station, saw the dude pull up on his fucking motorcycle. She hopped on the back, and they took off.
God damn.
And I was like, okay, this is crazy. And then I found out who the dude was. I found out that was her ex-boyfriend. I was like, okay, we know what's going on there. And then I heard other shit that she was doing. And then that was like the line in the sand for me. And that's when I started saying shit to him. Like, dude, this is what's going on. This is what she's doing while you're at work. This is what I know. And he didn't want to believe it. Didn't believe it. No way. There's no way. And I'm like, so then one day I got both of them at the same time. I said, this is what you're doing. Tell him. Fucking tell him. No, I'm not doing it. I'm like, okay, well, what about this? What about this person? Who's this? And she was like, I remember right at that point when I started dropping names, she looked over at him and she goes, can we talk about this inside? I was like, go ahead.
Yeah.
Jay fucking slammed his hand on the hood of his truck. Like, just fucking say it. I was like, oh man. And she's like, yes, I did it. Started crying and shit.
You blame him?
He's just like,
like my mom when she
corned beef, yes.
Corned beef incident.
Someone just took 2 slabs of corned beef from him right there. Like,
oh yeah,
dude, it was crazy. And I just looked at him. I'm like,
told you.
I fucking tried to tell you. Like, and then it just turned into a rage from there. Now,
and then it turned around.
And then yeah, and then like I said, the next morning was when he was like, I think your girlfriend's cheating on you too. Actually, I'm like, you wait till right now to say? Like, you didn't say anything about this
before.
Right. And then again, I said, okay, where? Show me some proof. Like,
yeah.
So, whatever.
Well, yeah.
So, from there, I was, like, scarred by that. Because I was like, all right, maybe I shouldn't get involved because people are going to, because they, and like I said, ended up staying together. And then me and him ended up hating each other. Because then after they stayed together, you're not just going to be able to walk in front of me.
Yeah, you can't be around them.
I can't just act like that then, like, because I'll just be like, oh, your girlfriend's a whore. Oh, the whore's here.
Yeah.
Whore's in the house. Like, hey, ho. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's very hard for me to not, because you're a fucking piece of shit. And I'm sure you're still doing it. Whatever their reasons are, and it's not like, so, and don't get me wrong, he's not peachy to deal with either. But still, then leave. You know, leave. Especially when you're bringing this shit into my house, you know? So,
Of course.
So then I didn't. I dealt with this recently in another scenario. You know, a girl, I'm just friends with her, rekindled all of a sudden this guy that she used to talk to, always friends with, jumps back in her life and doesn't even live in the state anymore. I'm coming back to the state. Oh, by the way, I've always loved you. I broke up with my wife. She took my kids, but I've always been in love with you, and I want to be with you, and I'm coming back to New Jersey, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do that, and I just want to be with you. I've fantasized about this forever, and we just never been able to do it because I've been stuck with her, and you were doing it. And she, like, head over heels, just chomping that fucking bait. So I've never met this guy before. So I have a pure, out-of-the-box looking in experience. He actually drives from the state he's living in to New Jersey, and I see she shared, I think, his post, and he was posted like a live Facebook video of him driving, talking. Within 30 seconds, I'm like, this guy smokes meth. This guy smokes meth. There's something wrong with him. Like, it's obvious. He's wired. He's like, you can see the tweak in their eyes, you know? So I know this girl was all, because now right away, dude, the day or two after she posted something on Facebook about him coming back, she changes her relationship status. And I was like, oh,
fuck, dude.
Yes.
Moving quick.
So, and this girl I know has been very lonely. So I know she's desperate. Me and her have talked about it a lot of times. She talks to me about it all the time. I didn't know what to say because I do not know this guy whatsoever. I know a couple Facebook posts, this video that I saw.
Yeah.
She's known him for a long time, apparently. I didn't want to step in and be like, you should really take this slow. And, you know, I don't know if you're doing the right thing here. I don't know if this is what he looks like. This is what I'm seeing. I didn't know how it was going to come off.
You don't want to pass judgment,
right?
I guess.
That I didn't want to pass judgment. I didn't want to make it seem like I was just...
That's different, that situation you're describing.
Yeah.
That's totally different because, first of all, one, you don't know both parties involved.
Right.
And you really don't have any proof.
Yes.
You just have a feeling. You could voice the feeling, but just in that matter, like, tread lightly, tread softly.
I didn't. And then he shows up, and within a couple days, it just goes...
He was gone, right?
Yeah. And she's crying, and she's really sad, and she feels like an idiot. And then she tells me within 2 days of being there, he starts asking about where he can find meth. And I'm like, knew it!
Wow.
And I felt so bad. I'm like, I really feel terrible about this, because I saw this happening, but I didn't know if I had a place to say anything. I didn't know if I should, or you seemed like you were really excited to have somebody interested in you, and this, but I didn't know, and I didn't want you to just make it seem, I didn't want her to feel like I was just trying to shit on her being finally happy and finding someone that's interested in her and this and that. In retrospect, I'm using that as a lesson now. I'm never going to be quiet again if I see something like that with someone I care about or friends with, because even if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, whatever, but if I'm right, maybe. But even still, I don't know if it would have changed anything with her. She might, oh no, but he's...
Well, if someone is willing to fall for something like that quickly, there's nothing you could have said, in my opinion.
And the last thing I want is one of those "I told you so" thing. Like, oh, I told you so. Like, who wants to hear that?
No, I'm with you. And
so I think you're right. I think you try as softly as possible. Like, maybe you should take a step back and reanalyze what you're doing.
Well, there was a situation very similar. I'm not going to name names where I had warned a specific person who I was very, very close to, warned them about the person they were about to get married to.
Okay.
And I didn't pull any punches. Mm-hmm. And in doing so, it happened anyway. And that
what
person,
happened anyway?
They got married.
Oh, they got married?
Yes.
Okay.
And then she was mad at me my friend was a female.
Uh-huh.
So the guy she was marrying, I warned her about.
Yeah.
She got mad at me, and I'm talking like a best friend almost, and kind of just deleted me from her life.
Wow.
And I told her I don't regret what I said because I know it's true. I believe it. And I'm saying it because I care about you and I'm looking out for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that I don't ever hear from you again because that means I was wrong. And I hope that I'm wrong. But I am going to hear from you again because I know I'm right. Lo and behold, 8 months later, I heard from her again.
Wow.
And exactly what I said was going to happen had happened.
Really?
And I said, I was like, look, I feel bad. I'm not going to say I told you so. I was hoping that I wouldn't hear from you again because then maybe I would have been wrong.
Yeah.
And you would have been happy.
Yeah.
But that wasn't the case.
Wow.
By any means. I thought it would be at least a year. It was
Yeah.
like 8 months, and that was it.
Wow.
Yeah. But everything's good now.
I was going to say, friends again?
Yeah, everything's fine.
Okay.
You know, because, I mean, I'm pretty sure she saw, like,
Right.
you're looking out for me. You care about me.
Right.
And that's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not ever doing that in a malicious manner. Because there's people that do it maliciously, like, oh, I'm gonna fucking ruin their relationship and ruin their life, and I can't wait to cause drama and problems.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the case. If I'm telling anybody about that, it's only people that I actually care about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not going.
Yeah.
People who butt into other people's relationships to
Yeah,
start shit.
right.
Like someone on Facebook that
Yeah,
you see and like,
right.
oh, I know that he cheats on her. I know that she cheats on him. I'm gonna message them, and they don't even know who the fuck I am.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
why? Why are you causing problems? Why?
Yeah. No, people do it all the time.
People do it all the time. They
all the
thrive
time.
off of it.
Yeah.
That's different, man. But when someone you're close to, or even family for that matter, and you tell them, like, listen, I'm telling you this because this is how I feel, and I'm worried about you and your well-being.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I know, and don't do it based off of just like, oh, I just got a feeling. Like, you know, come to me with some proof, like you said. Like,
Right. Show me something.
you have a feeling.
Right.
She's a bitch. That's all you have.
Right.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
so.
I had when I got divorced, I was talking to a couple friends of mine because one of my best friends was supposed to be in my wedding, and like a couple weeks before the wedding, he ghosted the fuck out of me. Stopped responding to messages and calls, and never came to my wedding. And then the day after my wedding, I was in Mexico. He messaged me on Facebook like, "Hey man, I just wanted to say like, I just couldn't get involved with your wedding, and I got all this shit going on, and I couldn't afford the tux, and I couldn't do this, and I wasn't gonna be able to make it to this, blah, blah." And I was like, you literally waited till the day after my wedding to say this to me. Like, you could have said this to me 2 months ago,
Yeah.
and it would have been all right.
Yeah.
But one of the biggest days of my life, you completely disappear on me. You're supposed to be my best friend. Like, so fast forward, I get divorced, and I'm talking to his brother. Me and him, our relationship was over after that. Like, it caused such a rift that we just went our separate ways and went from being best fucking friends to never talking. All the time goes past, and I'm talking to his brother after I'm getting divorced. And he's like, "Yo, you should talk to him again. Like, you guys should talk. You guys are like fucking brothers. You guys are best friends." I'm like, I got no problem. It is what it is. It's water under the bridge. I'm like, the only reason we stopped talking is because what happened so long ago. Like, it is what it is. And then his brother says, "Yo, you think," he's like, and this is nothing that he said to me. He's like, "But do you think maybe he didn't want to go to your wedding because he knew what she was like and he knew what she was doing?" And I was like, "What?" I'm like, "That long ago?" I was like, "I don't think she was doing it before we got married." I was like, "But I don't know." I was like, "But he's supposed to be my best friend. Why wouldn't you fucking tell me that?" And then I ended up talking to him after all the shit happened with her, and I was talking to him about it and telling him about like what she did and all this other shit. And you know what he said to me?
What?
This is my friend I'm talking about. He's like, "Oh, well, just so you know, like, I never did nothing with her." Why would you even have to say that?
That's weird.
Right?
He's not your friend anymore, right?
I barely talked to him.
Okay,
no,
good.
Barely. But like, why would you even have to say that? It's very odd to me.
Well,
So
it's odd because that would be another perfect reason why he didn't come to the wedding.
Exactly. And then on top of that, when I said to his brother the day he said it, I'm like, "Oh, why wouldn't he just fucking say something?" And then he was like, "Well, if someone said that to you right before you were about to get married, how would you have reacted?" I was like, "I probably would have told him to go fuck himself. If he tried to tell me tried to tell me she was a whore, whatever." Like, I would have been like, "You're a piece of shit. Like, this is who you're talking about." This is like, So yeah, I understand that part. But
it comes down to proof, though.
I know.
Accusations with no proof are bullshit.
Yeah. But
And
now
that's something that's plaguing a lot of people right now.
Knowing what she is like and what she has done for fact that I know, and I'm not even trying to say this like, oh, what she did, but just knowing how she went about her fucking life and what she did, and then how he acted, and like, it's just so bizarre. And then that, like I said, that thing, without even saying anything, just like, well, I never did nothing with her. And I even said, I'm like, yo, why would you? I think I even responded like, you don't even got to say that. Like, why would? I never even thought that for a second. But now you just put it in my head, like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Maybe something did happen.
Makes a little more sense.
Yeah.
Makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. So who knows? Probably. Maybe they did something. I don't know if it was when we were together. Maybe it was right before we got together. You know, because I graduated high school. She was a year behind me. He didn't graduate. We were in the same age grade, me and him, but he had a kid his senior year and left, and he came back and redid his senior year when she was in her senior year.
Interesting.
And we all lived right next to each other. And he would see her in school, and I think they would go to lunch together and go to school, and like...
That seems like a lot of
he's the
proof right
one that ended up getting me and her together. Because they were going to school together, and he would come home, and me and him would hang out.
Okay.
And he would be like, yo, you should talk to her. You should talk to her. Why don't you talk to her again? You should talk. Because me and her had talked once before.
Yeah.
And he was the one that kept putting it in my head. So he's the reason me and her got together again and then stayed together for, 12 years, whatever it was. So, which even more I didn't understand because I'm like, yo, it's your fault we're together. Why aren't you at my fucking wedding? Like,
Yeah.
You know,
Awkward.
strange thing. And I'll never know. You know what? And I don't even care at this point anymore.
Well, at this point.
It means nothing to me.
Yeah.
It means nothing. So.
It would have meant something back then, though.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, like right now, for instance, people have warned me. It does nothing for me now, but if, during the actual time when I needed it, if someone said something to me, it would have helped.
Think so? Yeah.
Dude, the bottom line is like, I was blinded by love before. Once.
Okay.
Because it was the first girl I was ever with. That's it.
Okay.
She kind of conditioned me to act on behalf of caution, I guess that could be the right way to say it. Where you can love someone, but you need to be realistic.
Yeah.
Okay?
Right.
Not saying you believe every accusation that's thrown, because accusations are bullshit unless there's proof. And that's why when people accuse people of something with nothing tangible, well, I just have a feeling.
Yeah.
Well, fuck your feelings.
Exactly.
It means nothing.
Right.
You have no fucking proof.
Yeah.
If people warned me about people after my first girlfriend, you better believe I take that shit into consideration.
Good for you.
100%.
Good. Yeah.
Everything is worth investigating.
Yeah.
Every fucking thing.
Right.
Especially after what happened to you. You better believe that I listen to anything anyone says about anything.
Yeah.
So...
I feel the same now. Like, if I don't learn from that.
Oh, yeah. It's a perfect example. So, it's... Everything... with other, I'm not saying butting into people's relationships. I've had obviously best friends who've made poor decisions, both male and female.
Yeah.
That I have warned.
Right.
One of which abandoned the friendship, which obviously upset me and pissed me off. But again, I understand how human beings are, and human beings can be blinded by love.
For sure.
Bullshit. But then there are friends who I have told who, listen, I was like, look, I'll be cordial with that person you're with. I'll let them know how I feel. If they ask, I'm like, oh, I don't like you at all. I'm here because he's with you, and I'll be nice to you because he's with you.
Yeah.
But the second he finds out what you're really like, that shit's over.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to be nice to you ever again when you're not with him.
Right.
Perfect example was, obviously, his ex.
Right.
I was as cordial as I could be, and then when everything had gone down with that, after that, I pulled no punches whatsoever.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go on, like, social media, this fucking
No, you're not going to
bitch,
go out
like,
of your way to insult her.
No,
but
but
you're
like,
not going to be fake and
no,
pretend
I'm not going to be fake and
right.
nice.
Yeah.
And just even being around them, I'm not being fake and nice to you when I'm around you. I'll be around you and I'll be cordial with you just because it pleases him.
Yeah.
But you better believe every chance I get, if he asks or complains about you, I'm going to be like, leave her.
Yeah.
You fucking idiot. Leave her.
That's exactly.
Or leave him.
That's exactly what happened with me and my brother when we were all living in the same house. And so she, imagine how that was, because I know I'm not easy to deal with.
Awkward.
Oh, dude.
I can imagine.
Fist fights, dude. Fist fights.
You fought her?
Him.
Oh.
Fought him.
You fought her? Jesus.
The first real fight between me and him was fucking insane, dude.
Over her? Well, over that situation?
It was, the rift was between me and him already because of that situation. And then he was just poking me. Like,
So
every little thing he could do to get at me and talk down to me or talk shit to me or this and that, he would do it.
Yeah.
And then I just, you know, 15, 16, 17 years old, not a little kid anymore. And he learned that real fucking quick, too. Real quick.
Yeah.
So that was crazy times.
I definitely do believe, to wrap up, what is the etiquette?
Yeah.
My etiquette on it is 100% tell people
Yeah.
the fucking truth. Be mindful. Don't be mean. Be mindful of what
Correct.
you say.
Right.
Articulate everything you're saying properly. Think about it before you say it.
Yeah.
And choose your words wisely. And don't make a fucking accusation unless there's goddamn proof.
Right. Don't make accusations. Tell the person how you feel, but like with love. Like, dude, I'm saying, I'm coming at you like from a standpoint of, I'm gonna love you regardless. I'm gonna be here, like, you know, whatever. This is what I see. This is how I feel about it.
Yes.
I hope you make the right choice.
Correct.
Right? Okay.
100%. I agree.